long as you can hear us. So you want to, Lisa, like I said, she'll be around in a couple of minutes, but we can start because I think we're going to do something different tonight after we go around the table. So who wants to start?
Don't everybody jump at once.
I'll start.
Okay.
All right.
Well, sorry for missing last week. I was on a work call and I tried to have them push it off to another day. I got outvoted.
Oh,
So,
you weren't here last week?
no, I wasn't. And I know you missed me greatly. So there.
I missed you every time you're not on.
Well, you get to see me twice this week.
Yeah.
So, anyways, it's been a good week. I have had a couple new clients, and one was a Zoom, and then one was a client that I had before. So she was a repeat. So, but that was actually done in person. So that was kind of nice. Gave her the option of Zoom, meeting in person, and kind of opt for that. So I said, okay. So I said, these are little changes, because of the whole, COVID thing. So, and, she was cool. And actually, from probably like 3-4 weeks ago, she was one of the ones that I kind of touched base on because she has the issue of anxiety and stuff. And so I kind of just touched base with her, and she was the one who said, thank you so much for reaching out to me. So then she contacted me, like last week. So I was like, cool. So it was worth it to kind of reach out to her.
Very good. Can you,
instead of putting it on the back burner.
so I don't have to wait for the replay. Can you do that again when you said it? And she's the one who...
Focus, Kevin, focus. I got a good special hypnosis induction just for you.
Oh, good.
Oh, the chocolate one?
Well, there's always a new one,
There's always a new one.
So moving right along.
Yeah.
So let's see. Another great thing that happened was over the weekend, did another training. So that was cool. I was glad to get that done. And let's see. As far as my cards go, I haven't made any new ones, but I've had some that I kind of revisited. That one was way back when we first started, and it was specifically about relationships, and basically kind of a friend who, am I going to put the energy into it when I'm not getting it back and stuff. And it's funny because I'm really not one to kind of let go of friends. They can be on the back burner, and I haven't ended it as a friendship, but it's at the point now that I'm kind of like, whatever. And I really, it was a good friend of mine. So, I kind of miss it, but you know what? Now the negative energy of kind of holding on to that really doesn't bother me now. I just kind of, that was one of my original cards that I did. And now it's between another friend of mine, we talk about that person, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. Not going to put the energy into it. And I got other things that I can do. Other things that I want to do, can do, and will do. So I'm just like, you know what? We don't need to be expending energy on that. So, it was nice. Because that was one of the cards I was going to throw away. And I asked Peter and Kevin, do you keep all your cards? Do you throw them away if you don't think that, you need to work on them anymore. And that was one, that was one that I kind of kept because it was the original. And I just kind of, I can see the difference now that like, you know, before it kind of bothered me. But now I'm just like, whatever. So, yeah, so I'm excited. I got a couple new clients that I will be seeing, and finished the training last weekend. And if y'all have nothing to do on Thursday, Thursday evening, I'm actually going to be, this weirdo guy who runs a meetup group. I'm going to be speaking for his meetup group, you know, and yeah, he's kind of quirky and odd, you know, but
Is he
I
Harold?
would do it anyway. Okay, it's Kevin's meetup group. But
You're already talking about how you dumped me as a friend.
I wasn't giving names. Do I know you? No. So yeah, if you guys have nothing to do on Thursday, I'm going to be doing some stuff for Kevin's meetup group. It's actually the title for it is Alleviating Pandemic Anxiety.
I love that title, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you. Since he kept pushing me, can you give me a title? Can you give me a title so I can put it on, so I can start posting it? I'm like, yeah, I
Once
will.
you get a push, you get going.
Well, I do. That's it. Sometimes I need that extra push, you know. But yeah, it's gonna be fun.
What time?
We're gonna the what?
What time?
7 to 9,
7. Yep.
July 23rd. Alleviating pandemic anxiety. And we're actually.
I'll post the link in here.
Oh,
Thank you.
see, he's so good. I still might have to keep him as a friend now. Might have to throw away that card. No. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's something that everybody is dealing with, and we're going to do a couple practical techniques, and then at the end, I'm going to take everybody through a mind-enhancing focusing session.
Wow.
Sounds
That sounds
impressive.
impressive.
Yeah, kind of leaving a little hypnosis word out, you know, just for some people who, you know, might be interested in coming, but they don't know what hypnosis is all about. So, by the way, Kevin, you're going to be explaining a little bit of it. So, so if you guys can make it, that would be great. I'm excited for it now. Now that I have Kevin's approval on the title. I didn't get spanked. No, you can't have that title.
Was I on your card? Was I really?
No, I wouldn't. You were not on my card. I will tell you that. But I might have to make up a new card. No.
Okay. All right.
And as you can tell from the banter that I have with Kevin all the time, that's basically kind of what the meetup group is going to be like, unless I have to hush him up, you know, because laughter is the best medicine, and you know, I think everybody needs it. So
Okay.
I'm done.
Well, Chris,
Thank you, Chris. Sounds like things are starting to go well for you. The clients coming in and all that, and that relationship. Thank you.
Chris,
Yeah,
I do
you
have
know
to
what?
say,
Good things, you know.
Good
Count your
things.
blessings.
it's y'all.
Y'all.
Y'all. I was trying how to say it, y'all.
Did I say y'all?
No, you said you tried. You didn't say y'all. You said it. You all something. Back there we say you all, but here
Oh, okay.
down here it's y'all. And then they have
Yeah,
another word
usually the
called
y'all
bougie.
slips
I
in.
don't know what that means.
Because my mother's family's from the South, so usually the y'all slips in, and people are like, "What?"
In New Jersey, we say you guys.
You got it.
You guys.
Hey, guys. Good.
Sue, you got your hair cut.
I did.
It looks.
Lisa?
You didn't?
Yeah, I did.
Lisa?
Yes.
no, got her ears.
Yes, I
long.
did.
She got her ears moved.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was late. I've literally been on calls all afternoon, and I finished at 20 after 6, and I hadn't eaten. I hadn't gone to the bathroom, and my dog hadn't been for a walk. So I was like, oh. So here's my hummus. And of course I grabbed a box of crackers that was empty. So much for that.
I hope the two of you didn't do that bathroom bit at the same time.
No, I went before she did.
You don't hold one of those things in your mouth, do you?
No. No lamb chop.
No lamb chop.
Oh, God.
Okay, who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay.
Okay. My goodness. I've been, working all along on my marketing, and that has been just coming together so well. My boot camp finishes tomorrow. The 10 weeks is up. And I have, I'm starting my Reiki classes the end of August. I have that all planned. I've got people that are interested. And the other thing that I've been working on, and I've been doing it for quite some time, is I may have mentioned about a book that I want to do. Did I tell you about that? It's called, I've got the title, I'm calling it Signs and Symptoms of Divine Intervention.
Ah.
I put my other book on hold because it just doesn't feel right now, but this one feels perfect for what's going on out there. So, but doing a book, I've never done a book before, and the other one I was dragging my feet, and I don't want that to happen with this one. And I said, I really need a program. So I'm doing my thing with the HoOponopono. And so Tuesday, lo and behold, I get this webinar that shows up, a free webinar. So I listened to it, and it's a year-long program. It's called An Entrepreneur's Guide to Building a Thought Leadership System with a book at its center. Now that's different than just putting a book together.
Yes.
And this guy's out of Massachusetts, and it's the first time he's done this particular program. He's creating it as he goes along, and it's for a whole year. So we talk with him every week. And so anyway, he comes out with the price, of course, and it was going to be this huge price, but because it's brand new, he dropped it way down, and he said, and then of course, if you sign up in the next 2 days, then it comes down, I think it was $750. No payment plan. But after 14 days, if you find that you don't want it, you get your money back in full. So I got off, and I'm saying, boy, I could really use that program. So I did the HoOponopono there, and but I let it go too, because I thought I don't, I need to be able to pay cash for it. I don't want to put on a credit card. I go down to my mailbox that afternoon, Tuesday, and my paycheck from my night nurse was late by a day. I open it up, and I forgot that I had my holiday pay in there. I worked 8 hours at time and a half. The paycheck was $778. I had the money. It's like, I can't stop working on this. I have been working on this like crazy. Everything is coming together for this book. But what I like is he's talking about building it through a thought leadership system with the book at the center. So it's not just about the book. It's about how you expand your business by the use of this book. It's phenomenal, just phenomenal. But it was like, yep, it worked again. So I've got the title all done. I've got the outline all done. I've got my resource that I'm building. And I tap on the card every night. And I wake up early in the morning, and you're supposed to spend 1 hour every day working on it, whatever it is that you're doing with it. That's the commitment. And then you have to go to the private Facebook page every day to say you've done it. And then we'll talk every Thursday. It's like for a whole year. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
By the way, you have $28 extra. What are you going to do with it?
I'll buy some chocolate.
Should get another haircut. Save it for the next haircut.
That could be what it was spent on.
Yeah. My face is red. Yeah. So that's I'm very excited. It's definitely where I'm supposed to
Awesome.
be.
Awesome. Very
I'll be
good.
looking for people to, I've already got 2 people sending me these stories. I've got people calling me, they want to be interviewed. So it's like, I'm going to have no problem getting what I need for the book, plus my own stories, of course.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. I'll follow Sue's lead
Sure.
about books.
Beautiful.
I'm going to have one in 13 weeks. I'm doing. I signed up for the Richard Nongard class. I spoke to Bob and then Dan, and Dan said run after it. And I don't know what I was doing when I hit the pay button, but I committed to it, so now I have to do it. And there's books I have titles on. This one here is going to be bits and pieces. It's going to be based on my life, and I already have the second one, and I was talking with Lisa about this today, and connections made. She's going to help me with some connections. That one's going to be interviewing people on woman who, that's going to be called I Finally Want to Hang Curtains. I came up with that title the first night I was laying in bed after I left my husband in my own house in Rhode Island. And I finally want to hang curtains. And I said, I have to write a book one day on that. So here we are, 100 years later. And that's going to be my second book, but this has to be my first book. And so as far as I should say money's like not strolling in, like for some people, no. But it is. So it's like I said again, I said, it's all in the divine order of things. So it's here, even though it's not here. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
It's not here physically yet, but it's here. So this is the process steps I have to go through. Then Elizabeth Foley, who I interviewed this morning, I'm going to be teaching a workshop through her site, because she has a ton of workshops, and I do an angels and guides hypnosis, and I just did my beta past life regression with some people the other night, so I'm getting that ready to start launching. So it's just getting everything going again, and I love the interviewing. It was fun. Thank you, Kevin, so much for being my first one as far as on my own. And Ken and I were talking tonight because one of my joys is I love cooking, and he watches these people on Twitch and I don't know, whatever geek sites he goes to about all these electronics, and this guy up in Canada who hangs off the poles in 30 below weather fixing lines and stuff. They do use GoPro, and he goes, why don't we just get your GoPro camera and you can do this while we'll set the mic up and while you're cooking and all your tips and tricks in the kitchen. And I said, that's a good idea. Maybe I can start making some side money on the side for that. Right? Why not? It'll pay out. I love doing that because I have all these little things of how I tweak recipes and cook, and it's Cook's Kitchen, and I call my kitchen Cook's Kitchen because that's our last name, Cook. So that's stuff that's going on for me, and I know a lot of it is because of all this stuff that we're doing, that we're working on and releasing and moving forward, and just staying focused on the moment as we move into the future.
Yeah. Good one.
Very good. We're going to have to start creating a book club. There's all sorts of people involved in getting books done. That's pretty cool.
Isn't it? It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Who would like to go next? Anything happened in their lives they might attribute to the cards or to the process?
I'll go. So this was a big weekend for me because I've been spending a long time doing forgiveness work around my ex-husband and taking my power back. And it was my son's 30th birthday. And so I had come up with the idea to throw this 30th birthday party, surprise party, and my daughter took over and my son's girlfriend took over, and they decided last week to inform me that they had invited my ex-husband and his girlfriend. And so I decided that it takes the same amount of energy to be anxious as it does to be excited. So I decided to be excited instead of anxious. And I got in there, and his girlfriend walked right up to me, and she was so sweet and so kind. And we ended up talking so much that my ex sent my daughter over to break us up. And we shooed her away. And so there were 3 times that we spent a lot of time talking. And I just looked at her in the zone, because I think she was really anxious and nervous, because she knows I know that they were together before I moved out. And I think and so she couldn't look me in the eye in the beginning. And I just looked at her and I said, I want you to know that we're all good. I'm really good on this. I've been looking forward to meeting you. I hope we can do more of this. And I could see this whole huge weight lift off of her, and she stood up, and she could look me in the eye. And I just said, I'm good. I hope that we have the opportunity. This is all about the kids. And she was raving about my kids, what great kids they are, and or human beings they are. And she and Scott had a bit to drink during the party. And you know, when someone hugs too long, they linger, so she wrapped her arms around me, and then she wouldn't let go. So it was like a 30-second hug. And finally she let go. And then they were leaving and walking out, and she forgot she had said goodbye to me. So she came running back and she hugged me again.
Oh,
It was really funny. And then she's like, I just wanted to make sure I said goodbye to you. I'm like, we just had a really inappropriate hug back there.
that is so good.
So that was really, really cool. And it was the most perfect scenario I could have asked for that day, for our first time, because I hadn't seen Scott in a social situation in 4 years. I'd only saw him in divorce court 2 years ago. So that was really amazing. Out of nowhere, I got a notification that I'm getting about $600 off my homeowner's insurance that I didn't expect. I've never gotten that before. It's the it's like this tax credit thing that I can't remember the name of it, but I was like, that was nice.
Yeah.
And also just the networking has been off the charts. I just meeting more and more and more people and making a lot of connections. I just got off the phone, Zoom, with a woman in Australia. We ended up we were supposed to be a 30-minute call. We were on for an hour and a half. And there might be some really cool stuff that we can do together. So referral wise. So I'm very excited about that. And I'm still waiting to hear on the insurance of the the expensive item that was stolen. I have to follow up tomorrow to see how that goes, where that is. And I think that's it. I think I'm so tired. It was like this huge, it was like, you don't realize how much energy you're putting into something until it's over. And then there's like this little crash.
Yep.
And so now I'm kind of just processing yesterday. So that was really interesting. But if I hadn't done the forgiveness work, I know that day would have been very different, because I would not have been as completely open. Like I felt nothing. Like I felt nothing towards Scott. I was completely neutral, and I was feeling nothing towards her either. And I could tell they were very anxious and very nervous. to a point where my ex was drinking more than he should have. And so was she. And my ex was, because I didn't give him a reason to take anything out on me, I just stayed very humble and kind of behind the scenes and kept quiet. He was prepared to attack, but he couldn't attack me because I didn't do anything. So he was making an ass out of himself and attacking my daughter and made stupid comments. And I'm like, just kept my mouth shut. So it was a very interesting day.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sounds like a powerful day.
It
Yeah.
was, I hope it's the beginning of really wonderful things to come, that we can have many more family events. Like my daughter graduates college, grad school next year, April. So my hope is that we can do a nice family thing together there. There's just a lot of things that would be really nice for us to be able to do together.
Good.
Awesome.
Good.
It is the beginning.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you.
sharing. And who wants to go next?
I'll go. Because at first I was like, I got nothing to say. But then listening to everyone talk, I started realizing some things. So one of them, again, coincidences and how they work out, I think is pretty phenomenal. Obviously, we've been working on money, clearing our money barriers and everything. And I got a new client who signed up for 6 months of coaching all around money. He has so many money blocks that he wants to get rid of because, he wants to become a copywriter and he wants to make a living doing that on his own. And he's like, I just, the very first thing he said is not enough money in this world for me to make any.
Wow.
And when it came out of his mouth, he's kind of like, whoa. And I'm like, it's funny that you mentioned that because in the group I'm in, that's part of what we're cleaning on, memories of, there's not enough money. He said stuff, let's see, there's no reason for him to make money. He doesn't have the right tools to make money. He doesn't deserve the money. And he one of the nicest guys I think I could ever meet. And when I asked him, I said, how did you find me? He's like, you're 5 minutes down the road. He goes, so that helps. He goes, why? He goes, I was seeing this NLP practitioner in Boston, and we just didn't mesh. He goes, something about her and we just didn't click. And he goes, so I found you. He goes, I called you. You picked up the phone. And he goes, and it sounded like you and I could just connect with each other. I was like, oh, that's awesome. And part of that goes, man, I think it's because I just cleared a lot of my own blocks around it that he could feel that. And so he came in. We had our first session last Friday. And he left going, I don't know what to say, but other than something's changing. I can feel it changing. And I said, great. So we're going to meet next week to kind of do some more, and then we're going to do every other week. But it was pretty cool. But then, speaking of everyone else doing books, so some of you know, but not all of you know, I used to be a Jehovah's Witness. I was born and raised in the religion. And when I became 18, I decided it wasn't for me, and I went on my own way. So long story short, that's where the separation between my parents and me stems from. Is they're still Jehovah's Witnesses, and I'm not. So based on the religion, they can't talk to me. They shouldn't talk to me. And they'll get in trouble if they really get caught talking to me, type of scenario. So one of my friends that I grew up with decided they didn't want to be Jehovah's Witness. And they had a hard time when they told their parents, and their parents did the same thing. They kind of like, get out of my life. I never want to talk to you. I don't want to see my grandchildren anymore. And they had a hard time with that. So they reached out to me. And all of a sudden, they're like, I've been kind of just given little things to do here and there to kind of help get over those negative emotions. And they came to me today and were like, I think I'm ready to write a book about the religion. and really get my thoughts out on paper and my healing out on paper. And they're like, I want you to be part of it because you've been so big on me healing myself being out of it. And I was like, I'm all for it. Like, I'm definitely here to help as much as I can. I said, to help you tell your story. And it's new because I've never written a book. I have no idea what's involved in writing a book. But I'm all for, telling their story because I know for a fact there's a lot of people like them, like me, who probably felt lost losing everything, because you lose not just your family, but all your support systems. You lose all your friendships. Like the moment I decided I'm not going to be a Jehovah's Witness, every one of my friends that still was a Jehovah's Witness cut the ties. So you really give up a lot. You give up your identity, especially for me growing up in the religion, that's all I ever knew. And I think it would be great to get that out there from a viewpoint of healing, because I definitely read other books where they come from the viewpoint of anger. They're the people who write it are angry that their families did what they did and their relationships ended the way they did. And this one, it sounds like she wants to come from the healing point, obviously
Right.
dealing with the pain, but understanding there's life after the religion.
That's like going through a divorce.
Yeah.
It is a divorce. But
Yeah.
here's the thing that is actually in your advantage about writing a book, because when people write book about a divorce, there can be wreckage around that because they're worried about losing everyone.
Yeah.
But you've already been through that. So you can really go deep and talk because you have nothing to lose. So I think from that standpoint, you can be vulnerable and brutally honest about your feelings because, it's already happened. You already know what it's like to lose. And you know what? That theme will help a lot of people. It doesn't just have to be about Jehovah's Witness. So if you could talk about your journey leaving the Jehovah's Witnesses group, but religion, but you can also kind of crack open the fact that this is for anyone who's leaving any kind of tribe.
Yeah. I think it's going to be very powerful when it's done. And like you said, I think it can help just a lot of people who feel alone, who feel lost. Because with them, they really had no idea who they were. Like let's say if you take the religion as a whole, they teach women to be subservient to men, as to be, whatever the man says they do, and for them, that's what they taught their children, who luckily enough, their children are young enough where they're like 5, 6, somewhere around there, where it can change really easy for them. But they have that mentality when they meet people, like it's so hammered into them that women need to be subservient, and they're like, that's not the way it is. They're equals, but they always catch themselves going, this is how I'm supposed to treat you. And for them to go, no, that's not how I'm supposed to treat you, it's huge. I think it's going to be a real interesting adventure for both of us to kind of go into our history. Because one, we grew up together, so we have a lot of the same stories. We know the same people, and our healing journeys were at 2 different rates. Where theirs is more now, mine has been for the last 15 years or so. That it's going to be interesting to see how it turns out, and I'm excited to see how it turns out.
Good.
Have you thought about like what Sue was talking about, is develop a program around the book?
I didn't until now. Just this moment.
just putting it out there.
Yeah.
Maybe that might help sell your book.
Yeah.
You could almost make it a work, but you could make it almost like a workbook too.
Yeah,
do a separate workbook with it.
I would love, talking to them, because a lot of the exercises I taught them were very just simple, NLP exercises that you can write down and then you can go do them. Like you read them, you can do them, and they're not so complex where you need someone there. And I would love to put some of those in the book for people to begin that shift to go, I'm not alone. I can, that my past doesn't define my future, to really take their power back, that they've given up for so long. That I would love, I think, now to do a program around it that help so many people.
So
So thank you, Lisa and Sue.
I'm putting it, I'm putting it out there to all of you, whoever wants to write a book, is interested, give me a call. We can talk. We might even put a separate group together just to have discussion.
I'm writing a book too. Me too.
I think we
I feel
all
left
are.
out.
It's our other group, the book club, right?
Lily says she's writing one too.
Okay.
By the way, I found a great site if you're going to do self-publishing. It's on demand. Now, if you publish into Amazon, bookstores don't like dealing with Amazon.
Mhm.
So it's it's Ingram something. I can't remember the exact name of the site. And you know what? You know what the setup fee is for your book? $49.
Oh,
They do print on demand. They'll provide it to Amazon, and they'll actually, for $59, they'll set up for the paperback, and they'll set up for your ebooks as well.
Wow. Yeah.
Well,
That's
so what is it, Ingram?
I'll put it, as we're
Okay.
talking, I'll figure it out and put it in here.
Okay, so I think we should start a book club to keep us
As-
on our toes about writing our books.
Because Bob Martell, I showed it to him. He's very close, a couple of weeks away from finishing his book. He said instantly he's going to use it. Because he had, so it's very good.
I'm more than happy to share what I'm learning from this program too.
Sure.
wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's, just for instance, he's got a chart here. It says, your book is in the center, and then all these arrows going out to different buckets. And this is what happens when you've got the book in the middle. You can increase your coaching, training, consulting, your business grows, membership groups, courses, events, and speaking. That's huge.
Well, it gives you credibility. Just to say I'm a published author, it makes a big difference.
Well, I've got
And then you make programs around your book.
yeah, that's what he's talking about. And I've got signs up all over the house, and it says, my name is Susan Monarch Nortimo, and I'm an author.
There you go. And if the dog from Bush Beans can be on the commercial, Lily can write a book.
Yes. Actually, she does. She wants to. I talked to someone to have her the theme of the book that all about adopting senior dogs as a fundraiser for a local. But I have so much going on right now that I can't.
We'll have to get together because mine's going to be called My Backyard Guest, from all the animals and cats that I saved and worked with back in Worcester. And I was thinking about just see what great minds think alike, the same thing about to raise money for TNRs and for animal rescues, and to hopefully close down all kill shelters.
Well, for me, and sorry, I digress, it's about awareness of adopting seniors.
Yep.
Because they get put down very quickly.
Mhm.
And, putting money together, because the biggest fear is people like, what do we do about the vet fees if suddenly I adopt a dog and they get sick?
Mhm.
So having like a fund for people so they don't have to worry.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I heard
Anyway.
all I heard you say is putting down seniors. And I thought, what the hell kind of program is that?
Can I jump into Peter?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to bring back to his book. I wanted to share this with you because within the part of the emotion code grouping, Dr. Brad Nelson is a member of the Church of Latter-day Saints. And many of the early people that were involved, initially in it, were members of it. Well, when they go to leave the church, again, they run into the same thing that you're sharing. And I have come across groups and different things that are being written exactly like you're saying, to help people who leave these very finite groups.
Yeah.
And, again, targeting into that marketplace, whether it be with the Jehovah Witnesses, even look at the Quakers. They're allowed to leave once.
No, it's not Quakers.
Not Quakers.
Amish.
Fantastic.
Amish.
Yeah,
And
Amish.
they can leave once and come back to the community, but if they leave again, they're completely cut off. So that's like,
Scientology too.
oh yeah. So that's like a whole marketplace
Yeah.
unto
Huge.
itself. And then you would niche it down if you choose into a specific denomination.
Well, we are on our way.
I go with US dollars if I'm picking a denomination.
Yes.
I just made it funny. I said I'd go with US dollars for a denomination.
That works. How big? 100? 1,000?
Hundreds, yes, hundreds. Erin, since you were talking, you want to update us, or Paul, do you want to go next? Who wants to go next?
I'll go ahead and go now. It's interesting. I really didn't think I had. I only thought I had one thing. Well, no, two, but something popped along with the jarring. Thank you, Lisa. Because of our meeting last week, I redid my cards, simplified them as we discussed. Okay, and one of them had to do with disempowering myself. Sound familiar, right, Lisa?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize it until just now that I belonged to another group, and they were doing a picnic last Sunday, a week ago, this past Sunday, and the invitation said you had to wear a mask. Well, I'm a person that doesn't wear a mask. Okay, and so, without bringing any, attention to it, I just, said, no, thank you. And then they held them, and it was after the meeting that Sunday, it was going to be. Well, we did our Zoom meeting, and I'm sitting there looking at the two facilitators, okay, and they're sitting, right next to each other, no mask. And that, it was a little disturbing, disconcerting. So I hemmed and hawed about it, and then I decided to call the one person that I'm a little bit friendlier with, and he said, they said, you're right. Okay, and I just said, this is incongruent with the invitation. I made a decision based upon that, and here I'm looking at this. So, and that person said, well, why don't you, connect with the other person? And I can be a little timid about that because of my own story. So the next day I did. And, I was like, kind of biting the nails. Well, all right, we'll see what happens. And, the person said, you're right. And they said, as they were sitting there next to each other, it went through their head how they were not being congruent with what was the invitation. And, I said, no big deal. I just want to, that's why I didn't show up. And I didn't say anything why I wasn't showing up. It's just why I didn't show up. And, without saying, even throwing the manipulation, who else didn't show up? I just said that's why. I just feel, if that's going to be put out there, especially with what we're going through during these times, then there needs to be a congruency. So I just sitting here, it just downloaded into me. Oh crap, you did that. And that was about the disempowering. part of the disempowering that I do sometimes at myself. So that was good. As some of you are aware, I was going to be doing the Tony Robbins event Thursday through Sunday night, and Wednesday night on my phone, something with Facebook, and I'm looking and I'm navigating through trying to figure out the message. I have a friend. I've had a friend I met through Emotion Code. She lives in Ireland, Limerick, Ireland area, and she's actually from New Zealand originally. And I'll just drop this little tidbit. There is no COVID in New Zealand, just so you all know. So anyway, she was diagnosed a couple of months ago with stage 4 bladder cancer. So, I was the only one. I was talking to her in the hospital because she had to go in for biopsy. She was there for a week, and all this other stuff. And I've been in touch with her, sending very uplifting, never asking her, because as energy workers, I don't want to feed that. But she would drop a little bit of information, here and there, but nothing elaborate. Well, Wednesday night, the night before Tony's event, there was something wonky on her page, and I'm like, something's wrong here. So fortunately, I happened to remember her son saying that I could go through her friend and find him, and he's getting on a plane at night in New Zealand to go to Ireland. I said, this is not good. And it was very upsetting. I knew then she had transitioned. Okay, and very upsetting. And, I'm like, that night, crying some. And then, I'm going into the event the next day. How do you go into transition to this type of an event and all? And I didn't even make a card up, y'all. No card, y'all. Okay. I just went through the HoOponopono with it, about it, and and dealt with it. And I got up Thursday morning and went to the Tony Robbins event, the Unleash the Power event. So and I was good, and nothing overhanging me, type of thing, which was good. And then today I just I did a little bit, went into her Facebook and got real confirmation that she had transitioned. And so, but it was like, did she or didn't she? Did she or didn't she? But it was wonky and intuitively, I just knew. So that's, I'm complete. That's been my week. Now I just kind of settle into what I want to focus on now. I'm still working on some health issues here, which I did some body because I'm good this morning because of the heat in my apartment. But and then I got a rebounder, and I started bouncing on that a little bit to get some of the caca moving in me, we'll just say. Bounce long when you got a spine issue going on. But
did you need an energetic laxative?
Nope, that was last night I took the pills.
Very good.
Oh, good
Well,
one.
thank you, Erin, for sharing.
Yeah, so we hadn't talked about using it for grief. So, that is something, to add to the book, since we're into books.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I should use the HoOponopono. I have 2 baby skunks out here, and they fight each other, so that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Anything else? Okay. Paul, do you want to say something? Welcome back, by the way.
Welcome back. Yay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Woo!
Thank you. It's very
So
nice to
happy to
see
have you.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been over a month anyway.
Yeah.
Um, so I was certified in, I told you that I was training in the hypnotherapy. I was certified on June 27th.
Congratulations. Yes.
Haven't done a damn thing with it yet, but there it is.
Okay, it took me 5 years, so.
Seriously. But I wanted to ask everyone, hey, what was it like? How long did you, before you felt confident enough to do something with the information?
Yeah.
So,
It took me a long time when I got trained. But the students I'm training now, they're starting their business up right away almost. So
I was going to say, one of my biggest issues, and I don't know who trained you, was it through NGH?
yes.
Okay. So,
NGH certified training, John Koenig.
yeah, I don't know him, but I felt when I graduated that I didn't feel like I had enough experience and
I
practice.
love you.
So, because when I trained for EFT, the tapping, they required, before I got certified, 50 hours
Wow.
with clients and having a mentor to discuss each one. And I had to document and write up what their issue was and what I did with them, and I had to submit. So, that was like a big light bulb for me. So I ended up just going to the conference and taking some classes. And once I got some classes under my belt of areas that I wanted, but what I will tell you, I don't know where you are in the squares. We've got the Brady Bunch Square, but the lady with the sitting in front of the water, who just got a beautiful haircut, would probably be an amazing mentor for you to hold your hand and give you a different perspective, because I find it's really good to have different teachers, because you're going to learn something different from each of the teachers you work with. And Sue is magnificent at really holding your hand, helping you through, and guiding you through whatever you need. When it comes to, she's a phenomenal instructor.
Oh, Lisa, thank you so much.
I've sent so many people to her to be trained, and they all have thanked me over and over again. But I would say that, if you want to talk to her about, something like that, so that you can feel like you have your hand held.
Sure. Just give me a call. My number and my email is in the chat room right now. So if you want that, feel free. Okay.
Awesome. Yes, I would like to speak to you.
Okay, Paul. Good.
Yeah, so a lot of what's going on is still the same stuff I talked about 4 or 5 weeks ago. I did a session with Kevin, was nice enough to give me a session on Friday. And we did some NLP stuff and a really nice induction. And I did feel a little better about things, a little more solid about the situation I have going on with my friend. I saw him again this weekend. And that's why I haven't been around on Mondays, because I'm in New Hampshire.
Oh.
Mondays. I came back today. But yeah, it's still confusing. It's still kind of the same. There's a lot of love there, and there's been no breakthroughs of any kind. I know how I feel. I'm fairly sure I know how he feels, but it's still kind of not moving. And but one thing that was nice, because I like to think I'm not superstitious, but apparently I am. After Kevin and I finished, this was over at India Point Park, I was going to just leave. And then I said, you know what, I'm here. I might as well just walk. So for anyone who's been there, there's a path that runs along the bay. And it's not a very long walk. When it doubles back toward the bridge, there are a couple of little outcroppings. And there was one where there was a fenced area, and the fence was broken. So I said, well, let me just go down. I can get down by the water. And I went down there, and there was a large rock. I sat on it, and I was watching boats and just thinking about stuff and crying and thinking about the session I'd done with Kevin. And I looked down to my left, and laying on the rock was a rose quartz heart and a glass ladybug.
Wow.
Whoa.
How awesome is that?
Wow.
Whoa.
And yeah, so then yesterday I was heading up there. My car broke down, and I was stuck on 95 for 4.5 hours because they screwed the whole towing thing up. But at one point, a ladybug flew in the car and landed on my arm. This is at about
Wow.
11:30 at night.
Hmm.
So it's kind of it's kind of a nice thing. It's comforting, and
Paul, do you know when stuff like that happens? Google on your phone what's the spiritual meaning
Yeah.
of a ladybug or whatever it is.
Yeah.
yeah, I did.
I'm on it right now.
I looked up the whole thing with the rose quartz and the ladybug. Rose quartz is a kind of a generally used stone for a lot of things for healing, but particularly of the heart.
Right.
Yeah, emotional issues and things. And a ladybug obviously is known for luck and all that kind of stuff.
I didn't know what you knew, okay, because I don't really know you, so that's why I dropped that in there.
Yeah.
It's also about wishes and goals coming into fruition. Higher goals and new heights are now possible. In other words, no worries begin to dissipate and new happiness comes about. This
Whoa.
spirit animals also cautions not to try hard or go too fast to fulfill your dreams. Let things flow at a natural pace. In due course and time, your wishes will come true.
That's appropriate with being by the water and the flow.
Yeah.
Boy,
So,
good. Cool.
It's appropriate for me too, because I need to get some flow going in my life. I've been halted for way too long. It's one of the reasons I took the course, because the original idea really was more personal, just to have some skills under my belt. I knew that the self-hypnosis was going to be touched upon and all that. But now I really just want to get out there and help people.
Good.
Good one.
good.
That's very good. Awesome, Paul.
So again, I'm not really sure how to access the chat, because I would like to talk to you, Sue.
You know what? Just give me your phone number right now.
Okay, so it's 401
401
861
861
8442.
8442. And we're Munson, right?
Rasmussen. Yeah.
Rasmussen. Got it. Okay. How about if I give you a call tomorrow?
That's fine.
Okay.
What time is good for you?
Let's see. Yeah. How about 1 o'clock? How's that?
That's fine.
Okay, I will call you then.
Okay.
Good.
Fantastic.
And thank you again, Kevin.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Anything else, Paul? Thank you for sharing, by the way.
Yeah.
Great.
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Well, I guess that leaves me. And I still got my cards, and I am not as diligent as I should be on a day-to-day basis. But one of my cards I have, I don't know if you can see it. It's completely disappeared now. Anyway, if you could see it, it has Paul's name on it. Ever since we did it all together a few weeks back, I put your name on it. Now, is it called cheating if you personally intervene like I did and actually help Paul? No. No, Paul, seriously, I have been I have been doing HoOponopono for around you and releasing anything from me. And, you know, hopefully it's helping and possibly that is helped. Now, we had been working on money. I love money. And interesting thing, a couple weeks ago, no, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, I applied for something with the Cures Act, and it's an SBA loan. And I just let it go because I said, yeah, it's not going to happen. A couple weeks ago, a friend of mine called. He said, oh, I'm getting mine soon. I was just notified. I said, you are? Geez, I hadn't heard anything from them. Lo and behold, the very next day, I got an email from the SBA. And they say, oh, yeah, you need to complete something. I said, all right. And last week, all of a sudden, in my account was all of that money. It's a very low interest, long-term loan, what is most likely going to be forgiven. I actually got the money in my account before my friend did.
Wow.
Who already was in the process of getting. So, oh man, that was so good. It felt good. I had 2 clients in the past 2 weeks that have both done something that I've never had clients do. They come in for a program, they get finished, and they get what they want out of what they came for me for, and they said, let's continue. 2 of them. So I am so psyched. Usually they say, well, thank you, and it was great, but you know, they're off and I don't hear from them again. So yeah, it was really,
Good
really
one.
good. And one of them was actually the larger program I've never actually sold before. So that was pretty good. She says, hey, I want to come back. Also, like Lisa mentioned, for me, it's been a switch. I've been networking a lot lately, talking to a lot of people, and the connections are unbelievable. Yes, it's great. We're getting them into the pipeline, and some of them may end up become customers. I think some of them are turning that way now. But meeting all these people are fantastic. But for me, even though I did sales training, even though I've coached salespeople, I hate cold calling. Absolutely hate it. I look for anything else to do with value. And all of a sudden, I am talking to strangers on the phone, one after another, and it's just so cool. So something in me has switched. And it's really just so very interesting. And I'm learning a lot. And, oh, by the way, one of the people I talked to is a follow-up. Chris, after you got to do really good, because the person who's speaking 2 weeks from now or 2 weeks after you speak, he's going to be doing a talk called Mindfulness and how you don't have control, as told by Jim Morrison and Albert Einstein. That's hard. A good thing you're going first. That's hard to follow up on.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Seriously, I'm making all these connections. And Lisa and I both. And there's collaboration starting. There's people that we're bringing into the funnel. We're getting into the group coaching that we're doing, and there's people that are turning into clients. So it's really, really, really wonderful.
Yeah.
So yeah, things are going extremely well.
Yeah.
So that's me this week. Jerry.
Quick question.
Sure.
Regarding the cards and use them with the clients, Peter, you're talking about them, and you used them, Kevin. So can you elaborate a little bit more? So say if I had a smoking client and I put the name on it, in what way would I use HoOponopono on helping them be successful?
Okay. So if you have a smoking client, Have you ever had a client you get on the phone with and you do your discovery and you say, well, yeah, I'll bring her in, but I'm not sure about how good they're going to be or how
Hey,
cooperative they're going to be, or maybe they for me, I look for I look for the reasons that they have. So, sometimes we form these thoughts or form these feelings ahead of time. So Ho'oponopono is all about releasing anything you might have around this person, around their success. Even if you don't even know them, you might be thinking, wow, are these people going to quit smoking and they're going to start again? And so just release all of your own self-doubt, but focusing on that person.
So that would be even for like stress, or I mean, if I'm not, because if I'm not feeling anything about it, it's just they're coming in, I'm okay with it. How could I still work on it to help them out? Or can I? Because it's not supposed to be about them. It's supposed to be about cleaning the.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Hey, great close up.
Eyeball.
Close up.
No, that was awesome. That was awesome.
This big
So
eyeball.
what did they call that? Let me tell you, she never does this, and she's been laying up here sleeping. That's why I took a picture of it in front of everybody. This is my Gracie.
Aw.
And
wow.
so she's
See.
oh my goodness. But
So maybe as you're doing it, you're building the intentions, right? You're sending out, okay, you got smoking clients. So what's the cool thing about smoking clients? They finally decided to do something for their health. They finally decided to do something for them and basically for all the people around them, of course, if they're healthy and they're not smoking anymore. So use do it with some intentions in mind, then possibly, sending some love out and this gratitude out that you're going to help another person, but still focus. And Peter, you've been doing it with your clients a lot more. So what's your take on that?
No, my take on it is, in any given area, we choose Worcester, right? There's quite a few hypnotists in the area.
mm-hmm,
Why did they choose me, or why did they choose you?
mm-hmm.
There's some kind of energy connecting the two of you. So when you clean on that energy of what draw them to you, to me, it only increases their success, because kind of like what Kevin said, you're cleaning any memory, any thought you have about them smoking versus them not smoking,
Mm-hmm.
because they could have chose anyone, but the divine sent them to you. So that means there's some kind of connection between the two of you that needs to be cleaned, because you're part of their life. Being part of their life now, you're part of the reason why they smoke and the reason they don't smoke. So when you clean on that energy that's connecting the two of you, when they come in, I can't say like I understand why, but they're so much more prepared for the session. Like they'll come in and going, today's just been a good day. I've been thinking about this session. I don't know why, but I've been looking forward to coming in here. When you first talk to them, they're like, I'm really nervous about coming in. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what's going to happen or what's going to do. I really need to quit smoking. I want to quit smoking. And they kind of have that confused energy. But by cleaning it, when the time they come in, it's a clean energy. And again, you're just giving them that love and that gratitude that you're part of their journey and helping them getting to wherever they want to go, whether it be being a non-smoker, relieving anxiety, or whatever it is, because you have that shared energy. Because they may rationalize, I chose you because you're 5 minutes down the road. I chose you because of this, or I chose you because of that. That's their rational part of their mind trying to make sense of their choice. But the choice is so much deeper than that. because you resonated with them for what they feel like they need to heal. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
And so we can also utilize this, I don't want to assume, but my thoughts are on is workshops. One of the things I was doing before the COVID, it was through a third party. I was invited into BMW through their insurance companies to teach their whatever workshops they had going. All I had to do was read the material, show up, and do the PowerPoint for an hour. But it was still stressful because I didn't know the material. So I wasn't into the whole Ho'oponopono at that whole. Look, see what you did to me, Susan? Sorry. The Ho'oponopono at that time, but now thinking at it, so even if I'm doing, as I go and we're speaking publicly about our books, all of us, and we're going to attract the right people to the venues, and so we can utilize this. It's almost like a secret weapon, sort of
Realistically,
say,
yeah.
to help us.
If you want to know something, I do. And for me, I say it works really well. So I play music usually for my clients when they're in here for hypnosis, or really with anything. And quietly on that music is me just going, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And that's just on repeat under the music. So now when I do hypnosis, I say, it doesn't matter if I talk really fast, talk really slow, if I'm talking loud, or if I'm as quiet as a whisper, you're going to hear the message I'm saying, and you're going to heal from it, or you're going to grow, or you're going to change, or whatever they're here for. Now, by saying that, their subconscious mind is going to pick up on the recording of, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And they're subconsciously going to start saying it to themselves, which only, like you said, it amplifies the session, because they don't even know what's going on, but their mind is hearing my voice at a very soft whisper tone, and it's still picking up on it.
Almost like a
I use it for so much because I find it always has helped every single one of my sessions. And you know, the one thing I'll say, when people come to me to quit smoking, smoking is very rarely the problem they're actually coming to me for. It's whatever they feel like smoking is giving them. You know?
Right.
So if you heal that, the smoking goes away on its own.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, same thing with alcohol or drugs. If you heal the reason why they're there, and so with that, when it's, you know, I'm talking about healing all throughout my session, and then they have the healing words that they don't even know they're kind of repeating to themselves. Come the end of the session, smoking is no longer a problem for them because they've healed from whatever caused them to start.
Yeah, because it's always about something else, right?
It always is. I had someone who came to me to quit smoking, and it was I don't know if I told you this story. I've talked to so many people this afternoon. His father died, and he was 12 years old, and his uncle gave him a cigarette to help him feel better. And so he never grieved his father because he smoked to stop the emotion. So I, using hypnosis, got back to the root cause, released his grief, which then allowed him to quit smoking. Oftentimes with smoking, it's a friend. Smoking is a companion. So you want to address the friendship, the loss, the grief. What do I do with myself without my friend?
Best friend.
It's a best
I
friend.
smoked over 2 packs a day. It's your best friend.
Oh, so you know it.
I know. That's why I can yell at smokers, because I know.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, but not yet. I really don't yell at them. But if anybody else here has ever been a smoker, you know. And one of the things I always ask people when they come to me for smoking, I say, do you want to quit or do you want to become a non-smoker? And they have to think about that. Because if you only want to quit, you're not ready to stop. Most times.
That's a great question.
I learned that from Julie Griffin. Julie Griffin. I know several Julies. I'm like, so do you want to quit or do you want to become a non-smoker?
Jerry, that's what the person I went to, that was layered in, my former neighbor. At that point I didn't know anything about NLP, but I knew he did hypnosis. And part of that was he layered that in. And I, from the get-go, after that one session, had said I was a non-smoker.
Mm-hmm.
And I even have the last 2 cigarettes I had from like 13, 14 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you know the pains of it.
Oh, yeah. And the other nice thing I'll share with you all, too, that he did, I found, is because many times, because there's this energy of against, each other, whatever, the smoker, the non-smoker, and then people who have stopped smoking, they're all, shame on anybody else. He layered it into me that I can, and he recognized it's a social function also, especially more so now in the last 20 years. But he layered it in that I could be around smokers and have zero desire to have it and actually enjoy the smell of it. But having
Oh.
to get up.
Ah.
Yeah, but you were a smoker, right, Lisa?
I'm a former smoker. I used to smoke a pack a day.
I smoked 2 packs.
People who used to smoke are worse than people who've never smoked.
Yeah, because I hate it. It makes me nauseous.
But every once in a while, I'll walk by and get a whiff, and I'll go, "Oh, it smells so good." But only for like a memory.
I have never done that.
Oh, I do, and those people at 100 scream at me. But but the thought of it is it's nauseating. I can't stand the smell of it. It's gross.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, this is what he did. Now, if I smell somebody's clothing, that's different. But I have a friend that smokes occasionally, and it's a joke. Well, here's your smoke for you, okay? And I'm fine. I don't mind the smell of it. But yet, if I smell it on somebody's clothing, that's when I want to get. Ugh.
Yeah. Well, to bring it back to the original question, Jerry, and I think Peter did a really good job explaining it. But what Peter had said before, early on, and we've said it in the webinar, when you're saying I'm sorry, you're basically saying for anything I've said, done, or thought, and or anything my ancestors has said, done, or thought that has contributed to this problem. So it gives you a reason for just saying I'm sorry when you're going through the prayer, even though you might be neutral on this person. Basically, you're saying, okay, do I have any part in me that's contributed to this problem?
Right.
And that was where Dr. Hugh Len was coming from when he did it with all these people who were rapists and murderers, and obviously he wasn't. But yeah, so that helps clean that energy that Peter was talking about.
Yeah.
I'll have to tell you my story someday about how I stopped smoking. It's very unique.
I need to run because I'm really hungry. I haven't eaten all day because I didn't have any crackers. I brought hummus out and I brought a box of empty crackers, and I need to decompress.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I love you guys. This has been awesome, but I'm like ready to fall asleep. I'm sorry.
All right. No problem.
It's been a lot.
No
Okay.
problem.
All right. Love
Talk to
you.
you later.
Bye-bye.
So,
Good night, Lisa.
right. So, Peter, were you going to do something tonight? Are we still going to do that?
Yeah, we can still do that. It shouldn't take too long. And it's a wonderful exercise to begin to start clearing out negative emotions and feelings and memories in a very unique way. I find it's very powerful. I find that the more you get involved in it, the better it becomes. It's one where you can do it at home by yourself. You can do it, with other people. It's a wonderful technique where I've seen it used where someone will physically act it out in their living room. And I've seen it where people will do it kind of how we're doing it today, where it's more of a relaxed state versus everyone moving around where they are. So the technique is called the gray room technique. It's one that Jerry Kine used to use I gotta say all the time, but with a lot of his regression work, because it's a great imagery for our minds to go, yeah, I don't want that anymore. Yeah, that's useless. Yeah, let's get rid of that. And let that good feelings of the stuff we love to grow more empowering inside of us. So if everyone wants to and is ready, all we gotta do is lean back, take a deep breath, allow your eyes to close. Awesome. And just begin to relax all the muscles underneath your eyes and relax all the muscles on the side of your eyes. And just relax them so much that as long as you hold on to that relaxation, you find they naturally want to stay closed. You may find your eyebrows can move, but your eyelids are just naturally heavy and comfortable, that they naturally want to stay closed. And when you're sure you have that level of relaxation in your eyes, just give them a quick test to make sure. Very good. Because now you can take that feeling you have in your eyes and just bring it from the top of your head all the way down to the tip of your toes, as if you're being covered in a nice warm blanket of relaxation. Because you're going to find with every breath you take, you can just increase this feeling. Kind of like you're at the top of a staircase, and every time you exhale, you just go down one more step. And the great thing about this staircase is that it just never ends. This is the staircase of relaxation. And we know relaxation never ends. That's right. Every time you exhale, just go one more step down into relaxation. Because I want you to give yourself permission to go on a short and powerful journey where every breath, every beat of your heart just allows my voice to guide you and to bring you to a place that's deep inside your mind, your body, and spirit. This is a place of absolute power, a place of absolute change. This is a place where you store things that are useful. And this is also a place where things that were useful at one time, but are not so useful anymore. So I want you to imagine yourself in a safe, comfortable place. And if you look maybe to the left or the right, there's like a portal, a gateway, a doorway, could be an elevator. It's what feels right for you. And I want you to look at that gateway, that portal, that door. Notice what color it is, what texture. Is it really tall? Is it made of metal, wood? Because now with your physical hands, just open that portal doorway and walk inside. Because you're going to find yourself in this pearly gray dome-shaped room with a fireplace in the middle. And this fireplace emits that warm, beautiful warmth and energy that just causes you to go, freedom. Because this flame is the flame of freedom. And I just want you to look around the walls. Notice there's these bright white colored pieces of paper full of positive emotions, positive memories and experiences. But then you also notice red colored papers for less than positive emotions and experiences. All of the things that you've been holding on to that no longer serve you, that you are ready to let go of, what you're willing to let go of. And as you look around, as if maybe by a magnetic force, one of those red pieces of paper calls you. It draws your attention. I want you to walk over to it. I want you to reach out and touch that paper. Notice, as you touch that paper, where in your body do you feel it? And I want you to take that piece of paper and rip it right off the wall. I want you to crumple it up. Make it less than nothing, less than what it was. Because notice as you crumple it up and change it, how it feels in your mind and body. Notice as it changes that feeling. Because when you are ready, when you are finally ready to get rid of it, crumple it up just a little bit more. Throw it into the fire. Feel the energy just burn up. Feel your body shift just in a new way. That's right. A new way that's natural for you. Give yourself permission to let it go. Notice as you do that, how good you feel. Now, when you know that it's all burnt up and you feel that energy released to whatever degree you are willing to let yourself do that, walk over to the next piece, take it off the wall, notice where in the body you feel it, crumple it up, tear it, make it small, change it, and notice how the changes the feeling. And when you're ready, walk over to the fire and throw that into the fire. Feel it and let it burn up. And I'm going to suggest that you just get the body involved, because the more power and amazing of an experience you make this, the more power there will be for you. So give yourself permission, because now I want you to systematically move through this room. I want you to remove all of those things from the wall that no longer serve you. Walk over to the fire and throw them in. Whoosh, feel the change. Be specific. Be thorough. You don't need to know what they are. You don't even have to care. All you need to know is that they are red in color and their time has ended. It is time for them to go. And when you know that your room is completely cleansed of all those red pieces of paper for all the right reasons, just let me know by nodding your head. Very good. I'm just gonna wait just for everyone else. Very good. Very good. I want you to notice, just as the final pieces burns, the remaining of the glowing pieces, the ones all over the wall, those positive pieces, the empowering pieces, everything that makes you feel good about who you are, about where you are going and who you are destined to become. Those energies, they begin to grow and become stronger and stronger. There's a warmth and energy vibrating from those pieces of paper as they begin to expand and they merge into each other, becoming one sheet of paper, like wallpaper coating the inside of this entire room, filling you with that radiance, energizing you from the inside out. Having that energy flow outward into every cell, every atom in your body, changing everything that is ready and willing to be changed for all the right reasons. Because with every breath you take, every beat of your heart, this unlimited, this endless source of energy is there moving you forward in life towards the things you want, both consciously and unconsciously. So that tonight, while you sleep, while you dream, this process will continue even at deeper levels. Your mind, your body, your spirit will systematically find everything that is less than positive, everything that has been holding you back, and it will take it right off the wall. It'll change it in such a way that is easily removed from the body, removed from the mind, and replaced whoosh, with this new glowing energy. As it grows, as it doubles, it triples. It grows stronger and stronger with every breath you take, every beat of your heart. Unstoppable in every way. And the great thing is it only gets better now. Each and every time you come and visit this room, you can clean those less than positive experiences, emotions, memories. You can rip them up, crumble them up, turn it into the fire, whoosh, watch that positive energy just grow so much more. Because it only gets better. Because now in a moment, I'm just going to count from 5 to 1. And on the count of 1 and not before, you can open your eyes and bring with you all of these wonderful feelings. Seeing the world in new eyes, new place and new perspective. Free from that stuff. Filling you up with this new energy. Notice where it begins. Notice where it goes. Notice, is there a color associated with those traits, those energies, those attributes? Because as I count, those colors, those traits, those energies, those attributes will grow stronger and stronger. By the time I say number 1, they will be unstoppable, ever increase in the way that is right and natural for you. As 5, you notice that you are not only an inspiration to yourself, but everyone you come in contact with. 4, allowing that new positive energy radiate from the tip of your toes to the top of your head, all the way back down, radiating out to everyone you come in contact with. 3, knowing you can come back here anytime to remove any less than positive experience as you see fit to. Knowing each and every time it's just going to get better and better. You're going to feel better and better. And changes are going to happen so quickly. 2, taking a nice deep breath in. And 1, eyes wide open, feeling wonderful, fantastic, ready for all those changes as they come your way. Welcome back, everyone. Stretch.
Thank you, Peter. Excellent.
Yeah, that was cool, Peter.
Thank you, Peter.
I'm sorry, but I have to get going. So
All right.
thank you all so much.
Start done. Thank
Wonderful
you.
evening.
Thank you.
Okay. And Paul, I'll talk to you later.
All
Okay.
right.
Thank
I'll
you,
talk to
Sue.
Susan.
Okay. Bye.
Peter, that was awesome.
Thank you. That's I love the gray room because it's one where you can do anywhere, anytime. You know, it feels like you can feel it, the changes as they happen, as you crumple stuff up, as you burn it, release it. It's one of my favorite things to do with a lot of my clients because it's very powerful.
Mm.
I just started doing it with my clients this week. I did it with 2 of them, so very nice. Chris Atchade? All right. It's just, I'm still getting used to seeing you with glasses. It's just, I thought maybe you changed.
You know what they are? They're actually the blue light blocking glasses.
Oh, actually,
Because of being on Zoom so much, by the end of Zoom session, my eyes, I can't see nothing.
wow. You look good in them, though.
Oh, well, thank you.
Peter, it was a great experience. I love your, I love the actual ripping of paper. I don't do that. I don't do that kind of stuff as much as I used to. I'm going to start doing that a little bit more now to get the real effect. The ripping and crumpling of paper.
It's one way. I don't do it all the time, but there's certain times where it's like it feels like right to do it today.
Yeah.
And
It feels to me so that if I rip up any paper, it would trigger back into it.
I missed that completely.
I said it feels like an anchor to me, so that, you know, afterwards, whatever you're doing, you know, we rip paper all the time, and it'll trigger back to that memory. That's what hit me.
I like that. I never thought about it, but yeah.
Well, remember, I just came out of a weekend with Tony Robbins, and I'm looking at it as an NLP person, and, you know, all the techniques. So, you know, big anchors, lots of anchors.
Yeah.
I wouldn't rip up your bills before you pay them. Just saying.
You're not supposed to do that?
I had a dog that ate them. My mother's hospital bill.
So we just did some more clearing, so it should make it even easier to get what you're going towards.
Well, I gotta say, one of the things, when instead of throwing it in the fire, it turned into a heart and flew away, like with wings.
Oh.
So it's like, and I had a purple flaming with a spiritual fire going. And instead of a fireplace, I had a spiritual fire. I create my own stuff.
Yeah,
Got a nice
you know what?
igloo. That's really good.
Tied in nicely, because my friend who's a shaman, I messaged her before. I said, "Are you doing a fire tonight? Because it's so toasty here. Because it's the new moon today, and I know what she's got going on in her life, and she, you know, to set the intentions." I mean, I do another technique, but, you know, but this is to, you know, send it up to the universe. Mm-hmm. And she said, I don't think so. Between the injury and the heat, she said, I'm not going for it. So I just thought it was synchronistic. Here we are. We're in a fire.
Mm-hmm. That's nice. And I must say, this cat that photobombed, well, Zoom bombed everybody, she never does that. She's always been very... she's just on edge all the time because of her how she was as a kitten. She's very loving, but she's been late. You put her out, and then when you counted up, she came back up, and now she's stretching in front of me. I got pictures of her. It's amazing how big she is. She
is going to be ripping up a lot of paper.
Probably. But oh God.
Thank you for that gift, Peter.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Peter.
You're welcome.
Did you say thank you to Peter?
Peter, this is the first time I get to experience hypnosis with you. Thank you.
It is.
Known each other for a few years. Thank you very much.
That's
awesome. All right.
Something must be about fire, because I just looked. Chris Casanova, who didn't make it tonight, I'm involved with a group with him tomorrow night, and he's talking about a fire, sitting around a fire at a campground. So there must be something about fires.
Something about fires tonight. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I talked to Chris, and Chris is going to come back with us in the group, and he just had something this weekend. So we're going to have 2 Chris's again.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Anything else before we leave? I thank you all again for getting together. This is fantastic. We're still moving forward, and experiencing things that are just wonderful. We're also creating a synergy. It seems like for books at least, there's a synergy there. So it's lots of good stuff happening.
We're all going to have a table at the NGH convention on our books.
Matter of fact, we can have a table this year at the NGH convention, no charge. Uh, we will set up tables in the parking lot at the center. We'll all wear our masks, but we'll have books.
They're not having it, Kevin.
That was the joke.
He was being, facetious.
Yeah,
Uh,
as I often am.
And we could even
Tell
have a
us
fire
about-
there.
Yeah, and we what?
We can even have a fire there.
We get
There you go.
yeah until the cops come, we'll be fine.
Well,
They're used to that these days.
Yeah.
Oh God. So
All
and you
right.
guys on Thursday night the meetup.
Yes, I posted the registration for it in the site.
Okay.
If you want to go register for it, it's going to be awesome. Chris and I have a lot of fun together, but he is phenomenal when he's presenting some techniques.
thanks. What do I got to pay you now? You tapping on that?
Chris has presented at my meetup. As far back as what, 7, 8 years?
Has it been that long? Wow.
Yeah. man.
High fives. See, you can't get rid of me. I'm like diaper rash. Keep coming back.
I do have one quick thing. If you all want to check out this really fantastic guy on Facebook, if you don't already know him, it's Harry B. Happy Bartholomew.
Why don't you can you put it in the chat room?
I'll share the link on, is it okay to share on the HoOponopono site?
Yeah, sure.
And it's only, he doesn't offer, it's just, he does meditation. He studied in India. He is like the most peaceful guy. And he does something called the silent technique, or the silent something. And I asked him about that because he was on a chat, and he said he's thinking about getting a thing out. Just check him out in his meditations. They are phenomenal. So he doesn't do hypnosis, but he does that. And he's just happy, be happy. That's his name, which is really cool. And he's just a really sweet guy. So I'll put it up on the thing. But yeah, and I will see you guys on Thursday night. I'm looking forward to that, Chris.
I found them. Harry Be Happy Bartholomew.
Bartholomew.
All right. Then well, thank you all again for joining.
Thank you for
Thank you.
everything, you and Peter, and we'll see you all on Thursday.